Today is Monday, July the 1st. Happy Canada Day to all you Canadians out there, of which I am one. But living in the United States, therefore trading in the United States. Dow volume was relative average volume. Something happened to the NASDAQ here. Let's try to refresh that. And the S&P, relative average volume. But the big bump that we saw in the open from the China discussions that happened Saturday and the nuclear visit to North Korea, that big bump that we saw did not continue for the rest of the day. And I'm going to come back to this, but what we're going to see is that the stock market breadth will probably end up with, because we've got about a 2-to-1, I think it was 58% to 38% or something. Let's see if we've got it back here yet. Here we go. 58% to 36%. So that brings our stock market breadth darn close to this previously overbought line. And it's going to take a lot of money coming into the market to push it over that line. It tends to stall out when it gets to that level. We've just seen that many times. So what does that mean from a chart point of view? The S&P today, I'm on the wrong wireless network. We had this gap up and we had an attempt in the day to try to fill the gap. So we pulled back to 29.52, but we did close right here. So we opened up at 29.71. We dropped some point in the day to 29.52, and we closed at 29.63. The Chiku span, the cloud doesn't tell us very much right now, so I've taken it out. We still have this inverse head and shoulders that we saw come back and test the neckline, bounce off the next, test the neckline, and then have this solid bounce and then a big pop. This is an all-time closing high. Not an all-time high. Yes, well, I did have an all-time high during the day. Way back here, if we look back on June 21st, we reached this level, and this is where we closed today, which was the high of June 21st. Helen Meisner said something about June 21st in a tweet today. I think I retweeted it. Apple. Let's take a look at Apple on a different time frame. I think it's going to be the 5-minute. We've got the 5-minute Chiku span. So I tweeted when I was watching it and I saw this happen. Then I saw it actually lose the cloud for a while at this very thin resistance. But before the 5 minutes was up, it came back and it held the cloud, moved up into the cloud, down to test the cloud, below the cloud, into the cloud, below the cloud, up during the day to hit the top of the cloud, come back and get support on the 8 EMA. So what does it tell you? It tells you that traders are looking at the 5-minute time frame, but are looking at support and resistance 28 5-minute periods back, and are trading on the Chiku span and the cloud. Sellers here, buyers down here. Sellers at the top of the cloud, buyers at the bottom of the cloud. So if you're trading with the candles in the cloud only, you're missing the bigger part of the picture, which has always been the Chiku span. Caterpillar had a massive open, you would expect, because of all the great news from China. But remember, while Donald Trump said that China had committed to buy a lot of product from the United States, they said that one of their conditions for talking on Saturday was that they did not want to be told what to buy or how much to buy. And they have not confirmed what the president said about buying American goods. There's not going to be any more increased tariffs. I think that's a victory for China. So far, there's nothing in it for the United States other than a pop in the market. We'll wait and see if this helps Caterpillar and if this helps the farmers. Gold, remember we sold gold. Was I looking at the daily? Yes, I was looking at the daily in Caterpillar. So gold had this drop. We sold gold here on Thursday. We lost the 8 EMA. We're moving into this gap. So it's important now to watch this gap. I've set an alert to tell me when it's halfway through the gap. I'd like to buy gold again, but I'm going to wait till it fills the gap. WDC benefited a great deal from the relief of tension with Huawei, where the president said Huawei could now purchase from American suppliers. And then Kudlow said, well, that doesn't really change anything about Huawei being used in 5G or being sold in the United States. But it's a he said sort of thing, and we shall wait and see. But meanwhile, the chip stocks were definitely the big victory. Chip stocks and Apple were the big winners today for what happened over the weekend. Whirlpool, we have confirmation now that we've broken this trend line that we've talked about. We had this gravestone doji day, and now we've got confirmation. On any pullback, it would be nice to start getting into Whirlpool and follow Twitter, and I'll let you know if I get in. But I would say that I would be looking for a pullback maybe to here. Let me try to move this. Alert. Come on. Doesn't want to do it, doesn't want to move. Anyways, I'm going to set an alert later on for there. But let's look at the Chiku span. Let's look at the Chiku span on the 5-minute. And let's see tomorrow how it behaves. Today, it broke through a lot of resistance, came back and got its support on the candles, moved up, came down to touch the cloud on this area right here. It touched the cloud here, finished up there, and now has bounced over the cloud. Let's watch tomorrow on the 5-minute. And if we are moving above the cloud and the candle moves out of the cloud, that's going to be our signal to move into WHR, and I will tweet whatever I do. So July 4th is a holiday. Tomorrow is a trading day, and I'll see you tomorrow.